Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
What's happening, people? How are you guys doing? Let me know how you're doing in the comments box below. Good afternoon, everyone. For the ones of you that don't know me yet, my name is Andrew, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in many retail and institutional Forex brokerages in Europe. Join me in this amazing journey and find out the hidden corners of Forex trading from top industry specialists. Learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know by watching our daily broadcasts. And if you like what you see, like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. Today, I want to talk to you about the 5 steps to a successful trading career in 2021. But before that, I have an important announcement to make. We invite anyone that had a good or a bad experience in online trading to an open chat. So if you ever traded, if you had a good or a bad experience, get in touch with us. Share your experience with the world. Help other traders learn from your experience, and we will make sure your voice will be heard through our daily broadcasts. I'll give you exactly 30 seconds to absolutely smash that subscribe button below, guys, and then we can get started. Smash that subscribe button. I know you want to do it. Smash that subscribe button. 5 steps to a successful trading career in 2021 coming up. And we're back, guys. Good afternoon, everyone. 5 steps to a successful trading career in 2021. Now, I decided again to record this short video to try and help every single one of you understand how to approach the markets this year. This year has been like no other year so far. Last year has been like no other year since World War II. It is very important for every one of you to know how to approach the markets. So I'm going to start with number 1 on the board, which is learn about the business. This is the first and probably the most important step, guys. Learn about the business. Learn what you're getting yourselves into. If you're going to trade physical assets, if you're going to trade commodities, if you're going to trade CFDs or cryptocurrencies, you need to know exactly how this industry functions. So learning about the business, taking a step back from your financial goal, taking a step back from all that pressure that might be put on you, by one or another. Take a step back and learn about the business. That's the first step that will guarantee a successful understanding of the financial markets, a successful start in the financial markets. Knowledge does not guarantee success, guys. However, knowledge takes you one step closer to your financial goal. Right, which takes me to number 2, guys, which is think long term. I know all of us would like to make a small fortune by Friday afternoon, guys. It is unrealistic, so think long term. If you see a few days of bouncy markets, you don't necessarily have to trade, guys. Think long term. Go for the opportunity. Understand what the end goal is. The end goal for any professional investor is to generate wealth, to create wealth over time. Wealth is not created overnight. So think long term. Do yourself a favor and don't chop the branch from underneath your feet. Long term is the way forward, which takes me to number 3, guys, which again is very, very important. Learn from your mistakes. You will make mistakes. No matter how much you learn, no matter how experienced you are, you will make mistakes. It's completely normal. It's natural to make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. Even the most experienced senior traders do make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, guys, and don't repeat them again. History, unfortunately, is written with blood. So learn from that tiny drop of blood you're gonna be shedding on the market. It is very important. Number 4, guys. Number 4, stick to the plan. It is important to have a plan when you start trading. Why did you start trading? What is the plan? What is the end goal? What is the target? You need to know all these answers before you start trading, and you need to stick to the plan, guys. If, for example, your plan was to invest $10,000, let's say, and generate $1,000 a month passive income, stick to the plan, guys. I know you might be tempted many times when you see something on the news, when one of your work colleagues tells you something, when you get that odd phone call. Remember when that guy calls you and tells you now is the time to invest? No, stick to the plan. If your plan is to make $1,000 a month passive income, stick to that. Once you manage to achieve that plan for over 3, 4, 5, 6 months, then you can raise the bar. You can take it up a notch. But until then, stick to the plan. And this takes me to number 5, guys, which is don't give up. I know you might be having difficulties when you start trading. I know you might lose a bit of money when you first start trading. I lost money too. Everyone did. Don't give up, guys. You're learning from your mistakes. Okay, make sure you don't invest your life savings, like I said yesterday, in a trading account. Invest only the money you can afford to lose. Stick to the plan and don't give up, and learn from your mistakes. This is how you're going to be successful in 2021. 2021, once again, is like no other year since World War II. We don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what's going to happen. We might be going back into lockdown. We might see Bitcoin reaching $50,000. We might see Bitcoin going down to $3,000 once again. Don't give up. Don't give up to your dreams. Don't give up to your hopes. You can do it. We can all do it. What's important is to follow these 5 easy steps. This is it. Now, this was it for the 5 minutes of wisdom today, guys. We're going to come back with the U.S. markets open in a few minutes and see what is happening in the markets today. It's huge. It's unseen, unheard of, unprecedented. Stay tuned and find out. U.S. markets open coming up.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
And we're back. What's happening, beautiful people? Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. How is everyone doing this afternoon? Let me know in the comments box below, and please remember to absolutely smash that subscribe button. Like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. I'm still waiting for your comments if you're struggling with anything. If you have any questions about online trading, about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies, about myself or the company, feel free to type your comments, and I'll do my best to answer all your questions. Now, let's get down to business and see what is happening in the markets today, Wednesday, 13th of January, 2021. The House of Representatives votes today to impeach Donald Trump 1 week before his term expires. U.S. stocks point to mixed opening today as tensions rise in Washington. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde called for global regulation this afternoon of Bitcoin. Crude oil drops ahead of inventories today, gold futures rise, and Bitcoin is approaching $34,000 in an aggressive correction. Welcome to the US trading session, everyone. Now, let's have a quick look at the most interesting article of the day, apart from the impeachment of US President Donald Trump, which is Christine Lagarde's statement asking for global regulation for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, guys. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde called on Wednesday for global regulation of Bitcoin, saying the digital currency had been used for money laundering activities in some instances, and that any loopholes needed to be closed. Bitcoin has come out of its niche in recent years, and it's now bought by ordinary people, investment funds, and even large corporations. Some have even taken out loans to buy more of the cryptocurrency, whose value has increased almost tenfold since last March. But its largely anonymous nature has raised questions and concerns that it could be used for money laundering and other illegal activities. Bitcoin is a largely speculative asset which has conducted some funny business and some interesting and total again, a word that gives me a bit of an issue. Money laundering activity. Christine Lagarde said in an interview at the Reuters Next conference today. Lagarde did not provide specific examples of money laundering cases, but said she understood there had been criminal investigations into illegal activity. She did not elaborate. The cryptocurrency sector is still mostly lightly overseen and unregulated, although global standards on areas such as AML, anti-money laundering, have emerged. She joined a number of regulators from across the world in calling for implementing global rules for cryptocurrencies. There has to be regulation. This has to be applied and agreed upon at a global level, because if there is an escape, that escape will be used, Lagarde said. For more coverage from Reuters Next conference, you can go on Reuters Next live events, and you will get the entire article. Wow, guys, finally, it is happening. We're one step from the global regulation, guys. Now, this conversation has started years ago, and slowly, more and more countries and more bank presidents, Fed presidents, even country presidents are asking for a global regulation for Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was trading, just like Christine Lagarde mentioned, when Bitcoin was trading very, very low at a few $1,000s, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, it wasn't a big deal. But in times like this, when people are taking loans, are remortgaging their homes, risking their entire life, to purchase this cryptocurrency, this anonymous cryptocurrency, supposedly, it has to be regulated. So, are we getting there? Are we very close to a global regulation? It seems so. Now, let's move on and have a quick look at the economic calendar, guys, which is led by the US dollar today, apart from the ECB conference that happened today before lunchtime, and the industrial production data that came out from the Eurozone today at lunchtime, which came out 2.5% better than what economists have predicted. An hour ago, we had the core CPI and the CPI consumer price index announced on the US dollar. Guys, all three announcements came out positive. In 14 minutes, we're going to have a press conference from the FOMC, followed by the crude oil inventories at 5:30 GMT +2 and the Cushing crude oil inventories. Then we're going to see the Beige Book federal budget balance, which is expected to come out negative $200 billion. And then we're going to have two more FOMC members holding a press conference. We're going to end the economic calendar just before midnight, guys, with building consensus on the Kiwi dollar, which doesn't have a forecast, so we can only go by the previous, which was 8.8%. This is what is happening in the economic calendar. The US dollar is in the center stage this afternoon with a series of announcements. All eyes on the crude oil inventories, guys, and all eyes on the federal budget balance. And let's see how negative that balance will come out. Now, Let's move on to top 5 things to know in the markets today, guys. And then we're going to get closer to the US markets open, and we're going to move on to the charts of the day and the signals of the day. Now, let's see, let's have a sneak peek of what's expected to happen with the US markets this afternoon at the opening, guys. US stocks are seen opening slightly lower today, with investors taking a more cautious stance as they digest higher treasury yields, likely more fiscal stimulus, and continued political turmoil. At 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time, guys, the Dow futures were down 25 points or 0.1%. The S&P 500 futures traded 5 points or 0.1% lower, and the Nasdaq 100 futures dropped 15 points or 0.1%. Very little movement from the US indices pre-market opening, but I'm sure they will start moving as soon as the markets open. Now, Wall Street has had a strong start of 2021, with the main indices all posting record highs despite ongoing concerns about the COVID pandemic. This has been largely down to heightened expectations for additional fiscal stimulus after the Democrats won the Senate. President-elect Joe Biden is expected to release details on his economic plan tomorrow, but he has already indicated that the new stimulus could be in the trillions of dollars. Right. However, new gains are becoming harder to come by as long-term interest rates start to rise. 10-year U.S. Treasury yields have climbed above 1% amid concerns about the Federal Reserve tapering its stimulus program more quickly than previously expected. Goldman Sachs, the big investment bank Goldman Sachs, warned that a pullback for stocks could be coming soon, with an influential bank's chief economist, Jan Hatzius, saying in a research note that U.S. stocks could possibly take more of a breather in the near term. Meanwhile, the political turmoil continues in Washington. The U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote to impeach President Donald Trump later today over the recent turmoil in the U.S. Capitol after Vice President Mike Pence resisted pressure yesterday to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump. The coronavirus continues to disrupt society as the U.S. topped 4,000 daily deaths yesterday for the second time this month, according to data from Johns Hopkins University. Texas became the second state to surpass 2 million COVID-19 cases after California passed the marker in December. Wow. More on oil, guys, more on oil. Oil prices continue to climb today, boosted by industry data showing a 5.8 million barrel draw in U.S. inventories last night, again suggesting that the U.S. measures to contain the latest surge in the pandemic have had less effect on demand than those in Europe. The Energy Information Administration releases its data in about 1 hour from now. Now, U.S. crude futures traded 0.4% higher today at $53.41 a barrel, while the international benchmark Brent rose 0.2%, trading as high as $56.68. Both benchmarks are trading near their highest levels since February last year. Elsewhere, gold futures rose 0.5% to 1852.60 an ounce, while the Euro USD traded 0.3% higher at 121.67. This is what is happening with the financial markets. Yeah, at a glance, guys. Let's have a quick look at top 5 things to know in the markets. What do you say? Are you ready? We're coming back live in 30 seconds with top 5 things to know in the markets today.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and we're back. Once again, thank you to our sponsors at markets.com for making this possible. Now, top 5 things to know in the markets today, guys. 10 minutes ahead of the U.S. markets open. And then we're going to move on to the charts of the day and the signals of the day. Number 1 on the board, guys. Trump set to be impeached again. To be impeached once again, be regarded as misfortune. To be impeached twice looks like carelessness, as Oscar Wilde might have said. Donald Trump is set to make history today, with the House of Representatives set to impeach him for the second time only a week before his term expires. The chances of a conviction in the Senate, also appear to be rising, with increasing number of Republican senators turning on Trump after another incendiary interview yesterday in which he defended once again his incitement of last week's violence attack on Capitol Hill. Both Mitch McConnell, the former majority leader, and the influential Liz Cheney are now open to voting to convict according to various reports. Wow, guys, we're writing history today, I tell you that. 2020 and 2021 will be in the history books forever. Number 2 on the board, let's see what's happening with the US dollar, guys, this afternoon. Dollar eases after strong bond auction, dovish Fed comments, CPI, consumer price index eyed. The dollar and 10-year bond yields fall after strong interest at a treasury auction on Tuesday, along with remarks from Federal Reserve officials that pushed back against talk of tapering asset purchases later in the year. Kansas City Fed President Esther George notably said it was too early to talk of reducing monetary stimulus, while the Boston Fed's Eric Rosengreen refused to be drawn into any talk of tapering. The movement in bond yields this week will add a little extra spice to consumer inflation data, which was already released. Analysts expect the headline annual rate to tick up to 1.3%, still well below the Fed's 2% target, while the core CPI rate is seen staying at around 1.6%. The month-on-month change is expected at 0.4%. There will be more appearances from senior Federal Reserve officials in the course of the day, with Lael Brainard due at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and influential Vice President Richard Clarida due at 4 p.m. Philadelphia Fed President Patrick Harler is sandwiched in between them. Right, let's move on to number 3 on the board, guys. Let's see what else is happening in the markets. Stocks flat, Visa abandons plate bid. U.S. stocks are indicated to open mixed today after a decidedly muted rebound during yesterday's session that was overshadowed by the brewing political fight in Washington. Stocks likely to be in focus later include data provider IHS Markit, which is in the process of being bought by S&P Global and Visa, which both said late yesterday it has abandoned its planned acquisition of Plate due to antitrust concerns. More news about stocks, guys. Tesla, everyone's favorite stock, may be also supported by the news that it has filed to establish a legal entity in India. I'm waiting for more clarification on this one. What is happening with Tesla? They opened a plant, or they were building a plant in China, in Shenzhen or Shanghai, somewhere in China. Now they're planning to move to India. Are they planning to move a factory? Are they planning to completely relocate from US? I don't know. I'm waiting for more clarification. And as soon as I get them, I will share them with you. If you know, by the way, guys, the guys that are watching us and the ladies that are watching us, if you know more about Tesla, please do let me know in the comments below. Now, number 4, again, we're talking about a giant, the Carrefour giant, which supposedly will be bought by Couche-Tard. Canada's alimentation Couche-Tard, the owner of various store chains, including Circle K, is in talks to buy French-based Carrefour in a deal worth over $30 billion, including debt. The acquisition would substantially boost the Canadian company's global presence, especially in emerging markets, notably Brazil and Argentina, where Carrefour has invested heavily over the last 2 decades. Carrefour stock, which had underperformed most of Europe's food retailers over the last year, rose over 13% on the news in Paris. And last but not the least, guys, number 5 on the board, U.S. inventory drop keeps oil rally going. EIA eyed. The rally in crude oil slowed but remains intact after data from the American Petroleum Institute yesterday showed a steeper than expected drop in U.S. crude inventories for the second week in a row. The government's data is due in about 1 hour from now, guys, in exactly 1 hour from now, and is expected to show a decline of 2.27 million barrels. The API's estimate fell by over 5.6 million barrels. Right, this is what is happening with top 5 things to know in the markets today, guys. We saw the amazing news about ECB President Christine Lagarde asking for a global regulation on Bitcoin. We saw that the U.S. government is set more or less to completely dismiss Donald Trump, even though he has less than 10 days, less than a week, I think, to to leave the White House. Still, he managed to turn the entire US government against him. What an amazing turn of events, guys. Right, let's do this. We are exactly 3 minutes and a half before the US trading session. Let's take a 30 seconds break, and we're coming back live with the US markets open. All right, beautiful people, we are back with the charts of the day, guys. We are 2.5 minutes before the US trading session. We're going to have the crude oil inventories announced in 1 hour from now. Let's have a quick look at the charts and see how the markets reacted today during the European trading session. And by the time we're done with the charts, we're going to have the US markets open. Now, we are starting as usual with crude oil WTI futures on a 60-minute chart, guys. We can see crude oil trading at $52.88. It started dropping sharply in the last hour or so, just 1 hour ahead of the crude oil inventories. We see the RSI and the stochastic turning around, pointing downwards, indicating a bit of selling power on the market. So we see a retest of that 50 moving average to the downside as things stand right now. Do not be surprised, guys, if oil will go all the way down to 51.02, where that 200 moving average is. Usually that's how it goes. Once the price manages to break through that yellow line, which is a 50 moving average, then we might see a retest of that 200 moving average to the downside. Right, about 1 hour left to the inventories. We're going to see what happens then, and we're going to have a look at some trading signals from investing.com. Now, moving on to the euro-US dollar, guys, we saw the euro bouncing off that 200 moving average that I was telling you about. Yeah, very good performance for the euro yesterday afternoon and overnight on the Asian trading session. But since this morning, we can see the euro dropping sharply, currently trading at 121.61 with the RSI and the stochastic very close to the oversold levels. Let's see what's going to happen. We might see the euro testing the lows once again at 121.37 if this downward movement will continue. It is a bit worrying that the euro moved below the 200 moving average. Now, the pound, on the other hand, performed tremendously well in the last couple of days, guys. You can see in the last couple of trading sessions, yeah, you can see the amazing performance it had yesterday on the European trading session, on the US trading session, and on the Asian trading session last night. It started turning around a few hours ago. We see a bit more aggressive movement to the downside right now. 136.49 for the pound this afternoon. We might see a retest of that 50 or that 200 MA to the downside at either 136.22 or 135.88. Right, very aggressive movement, very aggressive movement just ahead of the US markets open. On the other hand, guys, we saw the US dollar that performed really well today on the European trading session. There you go. You can see the rally that it had versus the Japanese yen, again, with after a retest of that 200 moving average. 103.94 for the USD JPY this afternoon, with the RSI still pointing upwards, indicating a potential positive performance from the US dollar. So if that's the case, probably traders will set their first take profit levels around 104.28, as that's the previous high. Yeah, considering the price is still supported by all three moving averages, and the USD keeps pushing higher, then probably you're going to see a 104.34, yeah, versus the Japanese yen this afternoon. Moving on to the Aussie dollar, guys, which tanked a bit today after again shooting up yesterday on the US and the Asian trading session. Yeah, it took a downturn, currently retesting that 200 MA to the downside, 0.7728 for the Aussie dollar this afternoon. The RSI is indicating that it could drop even further. It could go even below that 200 MA. So let's see what's going to happen. USD CAD, on the other hand, again, we see that teacup shape at the bottom here, guys. We see a correction, the beginning of a correction for the US dollar versus the Canadian this afternoon. 127.40 as things stand right now, with the RSI pointing sharply higher. If that's the case, we're going to see probably the first take profit for most traders at 127.75 or somewhere in that region. Okay, once we get the confirmation from the US dollar that the candlestick formation will settle above that 200 moving average. On the other hand, let's see. We should see the US opening as we speak, guys. We should see the US opening as we speak. Let's not look at the S&P 500 and Dow Jones just yet. Let's continue with the US dollar index, which, again, just like the USD JPY, there you go, guys. You see the similarity on the charts. Very, very similar charts, USD JPY with the US dollar index. And by the way, this is a free lesson for all beginner traders. Why trade one single asset? Why put all the eggs in one basket when you can clearly see that USD JPY is moving almost the same, is mirroring the movement of the US dollar index? Right, this is the free lesson. Moving on. So 90338 for the US dollar index this afternoon after a retest overnight of that 200 moving average, pushing higher as we speak. Probably 9057 is where most traders will set their first take profit targets this afternoon. Now, if the US dollar goes up, that can only mean one thing. Gold futures will go down. 1854.24 gold futures this afternoon, guys, with the RSI pointing downwards. We see a bit of discrepancy between indicators. Stochastic is pointing upwards, but the RSI is pointing downwards. Let's have a quick look on a 4-hour chart, right, and see what is very likely to happen. Right, on a 4-hour chart, there's your answer, guys. We can see that death cross being formed by the 50 and the 200 MA, once again indicating a potential downtrend. Once the price manages to move below the 200 moving average, guys, then prepare for a potential downtrend. Even though gold futures pushed a bit higher today on the back of a weaker dollar, we saw that retest to the upside of that 20 moving average, but looking at the technical indicators, looking at the US dollar index, and what the US dollar index seems set to do, probably you're going to see gold futures trading lower once again, aiming for that 1,800 mark. An ounce. There we go. On a 4-hour chart, guys, you can see where that where the price action might go and where that first take profit that I was telling you about for most traders will be placed. There we go, just below that 200 moving average. But you can only see it on a 4-hour chart. If you're looking at the charts on a 1-hour chart, then you're going to have to look left for the previous high. All right, that's why it's worth knowing how to play with the time frames, guys, because many times the time frames will give you the take profit and the stop loss levels. Right, let's move on. Let's see what else is happening. We're looking at Brent oil futures this afternoon, which again seem to be tanking in the last couple of hours ahead of crude oil inventories. There we go. Yes, so probably to the downside, we're going to see a retest at 54.40, where that 200 moving average is, or somewhere in that region. 55.95 for crude oil right now, for Brent oil futures, sorry. 55.97, 55.98, somewhere there is still holding strong. Let's see what's going to happen. Silver futures, guys. Silver, just like gold, 25.46 this afternoon for silver futures. Technical indicators, somewhere in between. No one knows what's going to happen. Exactly when we thought that we're going to see that retest of that 200 MA to the upside for both gold and silver. There we go. We see the US dollar being a bit stronger, pushing both gold and silver futures down, or at least suppressing them for the time being. Moving on, we're looking at the good almighty Bitcoin, guys, which tends to recover, but still it moved below that 200 moving average in an aggressive correction, shedding over $8,000, guys, in only a couple of days. $34,904 for one Bitcoin on the Bitfinex exchange this afternoon. A lot of pressure on the Bitcoin, a lot of profit taking, guys. If you look carefully, you can see Bitcoin started ranging. I'll show you how a ranging market looks like in just a second. There we go. Okay, this is a ranging market basically when the price moves sideways. Up and down sideways. Now, if this would be a currency pair, it would be very easy to to try and predict what's it going to do next. Yeah, once you manage to establish that it's a ranging market, you know what you have to do. Buy when the price is low, sell when the price is high. That's how trading works. So 34,896 for Bitcoin is trading somewhere in between 34,300. Once again, that 300 mark that I keep telling you about. Yeah, and 35,400. So about $1,000 swing on Bitcoin in the last 2 or 3 trading sessions. Ethereum, on the other hand, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum seems to be doing a bit better. Still trading at over $1,000, $1,066.96 for Ethereum this afternoon. The good news is that Ethereum has settled above the 200 moving average, which usually implies a bit of buying power. Yeah, be careful at the correction. We're looking at the RSI turning around from the overbought levels. We see stochastic turning around, guys. So we might see a retest of that 200 MA to the downside. Yeah. So keep an eye on 1,012. Okay, so we might see a fluctuation of about $50, give or take, on Ethereum in the near future. What's going to happen in the far future? No one knows. Now, the U.S. markets are definitely open now, guys. Let's see what happened with the S&P and the Dow. There we go. We see a positive opening after all on the S&P 500 this afternoon. Let me decrease the time frame a bit. There we go. It is a positive opening, but again, nothing really happened yet. Let's have a quick look at the Dow Jones. Again, positive opening for the Dow Jones, 31,090.17 cents for the Dow Jones this afternoon. RSI stochastic pointing upwards for the Dow Jones as well as for the S&P 500. Right, so let's see what's going to happen, guys. Now, since we're a few minutes into the US trading session, let's have a quick look at the signals of the day, guys. Let's see what investing.com thinks about the markets this afternoon. Right, before that, please remember our partners at markets.com have not one but 5 amazing trading platforms, and one of them is absolutely amazing. It's giving you the trading signals on the chart, guys, straight on the chart, and it's telling you where the signal is coming from. If the signal is coming from a news source, or if the signal is coming from an intel source. Yeah, very, very interesting. Check their trading platform. Their trading signals tend to be really, really good. Now, a few minutes into the U.S. trading session, 9 minutes now into the U.S. trading session, and we see the European currencies, the euro and the pound, with strong sell positions on a 5-minute and a 15-minute charts. Okay, the euro has red all over the charts. Okay, all across the board with sell and strong sell positions. A bit of weakness is expected on the euro this afternoon versus the U.S. dollar. Yeah, the pound, more or less the same, strong sell positions on the pound. The daily remains a strong buy though, but let's see, that might change in any minute now. USD JPY, on the other hand, we see a strong buy positions, 3 green on USD JPY this afternoon. USD CHF, strong sell, mixed signals, strong sell and strong buy. The markets did not get the chance to settle yet. The Aussie dollar, guys, versus the US dollar, 3 red for the Aussie dollar. Even though the daily remains green, remains a strong buy, we're still looking at a lot of weakness in the Aussie dollar versus the US. Right, what else do we have? USD CAD, 3 green on the USD CAD, 3 strong buy positions this afternoon after the US Open. And then the Kiwi dollar, strong sell versus the US dollar on 3 time frames. A lot of weakness on the Kiwi dollar as well. What else is going on? Euro CHF, 4 red, guys. 4 sell positions on the Euro CHF this afternoon. And as we get to the bottom of the charts, we see the pound versus the JPY and versus the Swiss franc with 2 red, strong sell positions, even though the daily remains a strong buy. This is what is happening on the currency side of things, guys. Let's see what is happening with commodities this afternoon, with gold and silver. Maybe we get a clear indication. All right. Again, this is another free lesson for you guys. This is how you're looking for trading signals and for assets you might want to trade on. Okay, look for the assets that have 4 of a kind, 4 red or 4 green, and it's going to make your life much, much easier. And guess what? It might make your accuracy, increase a bit. So we're looking at a lot of red for gold this afternoon. Strong sell positions all over the board for gold. Silver is neutral, but usually silver follows gold. Okay, so they might drop together. Copper, crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil. Again, we're looking at red on the chart. Strong sell recommendation from investing.com. Just a few minutes, like half an hour, 40 minutes ahead of the crude oil inventories this afternoon. Copper as well is dropping this afternoon. Natural gas and wheat, guys, U.S. wheat, again, with strong sell recommendations at least for the next couple of hours. This is what is happening with commodities. Quick look at indices, guys. Let's have a quick look at indices, then a couple of stocks. Right, okay. On the other hand, we're looking at the U.S. indices, guys. All green for indices. All strong buy for the Dow Jones, for the S&P 500, for the NASDAQ 100. Even the DAX, guys. Yeah, the DAX 30 has a strong buy recommendation. Now, FTSE 100, on the other hand, even though we see a strong buy on a 5-minute chart and daily, okay, right. Apparently, FTSE is lining up with the other ones. We see strong buy recommendations on FTSE as well. CAC 40 in France, all green for CAC 40. Strong buy. Nikkei 225, 5 minutes neutral. The rest all green, strong buy. And the Nifty 50 again, strong buy. Wow. Okay. Right. Another quick look. Right. Hold on, guys. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ shifted on a 5-minute chart. The 15 minutes hourly and daily still remain a strong buy. A lot of green for indices this afternoon, guys. A lot of green for the US indices. Quick look at some American stocks, guys. We're getting closer to the earnings season, which will start on Friday with 3 major players of the market, with 3 major banks reporting. Let's see what is happening. Right, ExxonMobil, 4 green for ExxonMobil from investing.com this afternoon. Strong buy positions recommended on ExxonMobil. Apple, strong buy on 2 time frames. Microsoft, on the other hand, 4 strong sell recommendations all over the board. Red all over the board for Microsoft. What else is happening? Wow, these pop-ups, guys, these pop-ups. I got to get a sniper. Right, Johnson & Johnson, strong sell this afternoon. JP Morgan, strong sell after the U.S. markets open, and General Electric as well, strong sell after the U.S. markets open. Intel, 4 green for Intel for stock traders. If you're a fan of long versus short, have a look at Intel, guys. We have 4 green signals on Intel. Apart from that, Citigroup tends to be doing well as well with only green, 4 green on the charts with buy and strong buy positions, recommendations. And then Alphabet, the ex-Google, shows 4 red. Right. This is it, guys. This is it. What is happening with the markets? What an amazing turn of events. What an amazing day. Let's see. We are 45 minutes away from the crude oil inventories, guys. I'm really tempted to see that 5101 level, that 200 moving average. Really tempted to say that's going to be the target for the downside for oil, but I cannot give you any investment advice, so I'm going to let the charts decide. But as you look at the charts, guys, you know, it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Right. On that logic, this being said, thank you so much for being with us today, guys. Remember to join us tomorrow, same time, same place, for another round of market talks. Who knows? Maybe we're going to have a guest tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we're going to have some breaking news about Bitcoin. And who knows? Maybe. Meanwhile, remember to smash that subscribe button. Absolutely smash it. Don't be afraid of it. It's red. Click on it and support us in delivering more great content. See you again tomorrow afternoon. Until then, remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.